the sentencing phase of the Donald Smith trial begins, the jury that found Smith guilty of the brutal rape and murder of 8-year-old Cherish Periwinkle now must decide if he should spend his life in prison or be put to death. It was another very emotional day in the courtroom as the state called one of Smith's first victims to speak, a woman who Donald Smith tried to kidnap back in 1992 when she was just 13 years old. Let's go to our Shelby Danielson live at the courthouse now with more on who will be speaking today. Shelby.
Well, Katie, as you mentioned, the same group of 12 who found Donald Smith guilty of rape and murder last week is the same group who will decide his fate. We are in day one of that penalty phase. It's expected to last 3 days, and it has to be a unanimous vote in order to give Donald Smith the death penalty. As we know, that's what the state is seeking. Now, the state did rest their case sooner than expected this morning, and that's because they said they already proved their point last week when he was found guilty. So they only called one person to the witness or to the stand, and that one person was someone who says they were victimized by Donald Smith many years ago. They have since moved on and they have a family now, but they said at that time they were being chased by Donald Smith, and they had to go back and describe those horrifying moments on the stand.
At one point, he had cut me off at a crossroad, and I just kept running. And I did make it to Tamara's house, and no one was home, and I pounded on the door, no one answered.
Eventually, did you try to find safety behind the school?
I did. And
where in that school?
Excuse me?
Where in the school area did you try to find safety?
Behind the school, there was a small playground.
And you heard her say she found a playground around by that school, and then she went on to say that she got inside one of the slides on that playground and she hid inside that slide as he called out her name and tried to circle that area looking for her. You can imagine how scary those moments were. So she was the only witness for the state this morning. The rest of the day is expected to be a long day. The defense will now be calling people to the stand, witnesses, to talk about what they say is the mental instability of Donald Smith. And we're going to have a full report coming up at 5 and 6 tonight. And in that report, we're going to also talk about why Donald Smith was wearing that orange jumpsuit when he didn't even have to be. Normally, he would be in just normal clothes. That's coming up tonight. Live at the courthouse, Shelby Danielson, First Coast News, on your side.